Hello everyone, welcome back to the desk. Once again, Basil is joining us in between all of the games here today. How was that game one, Basil? A Flyquest fan over here on the desk.
Not shocking win, just saying. But still very well played, I think. I got a little nervous once the enemy mid laner started getting a little fed, a little scary, but
a little bit.
Still a Flyquest win.
That's good. Flyquest Challengers. Again, that was like a 14,000 gold lead. I don't know how that exploded into a massive win, but very well played there by Flyquest Challengers. Absolutely. After the AoE series, by the way, like if you take a game to a 45-minute and then your next game is like a 20-minute, 25-minute win, that's a really good showing. They did something right in the last 48 hours for setting for the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's like nothing else to say. It's a quick turnaround, but again, this for me is more of the form I expected from Flyquest Challengers in playoffs. I think that the first round was very interesting, that we had so many close matches that all went the distance, and Flyquest Challengers trying to have one match, not go to 3 games, and find the 2-0 here.
Let's hope for my heart that that's what happens.
All right, Basil, I heard that you have something prepared for us. I don't know if are we guessing this? Or are we talking about this? What you prepared something. I'm ready.
Yes, so I drew a little thing to show, like, when I watched this part of the game, I was like, okay, it's pretty over here. So if we want to show that, I drew
so
Philip getting chased down by the top jungle. I thought this was really funny. I ran out of time. I was going to draw Chime here. Chime was the real, like, he was the one who made this play happen, but I ran out of time. So I could only get 2 people in here.
I mean, it looks like, the cat demon Aatrox, you put a lot of work in. The cat cow would have been a heck of a crossover,
So, yeah, and then I looked up and then there was the Nexus was open. And I was like,
I
don't think I have enough time for this.
Basil, as someone that peaked GM support, I'm only a little bit offended. So we'll try and fit the support in next time. But overall, I think that this was a big part of the story. I mean, you even called it out, Basil, like the fact that Surdy, I love how you put it, like he does play with a lot of confidence, but that not only comes from how he's able to execute his own laning phase, but also how he's able to get his teammates like Shaden involved to be like, hey, I have this wave prepped. If you come top, we can push Aatrox off and get a really big punish. That happened before they were able to find the kill. Like, it took a couple attempts to find the kill, but it's still like Philip was leading waves because of how Surdy was playing out the matchup. So I think this was a really big part of the story with Surdy getting ahead on the top side.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, I think it was very obvious to see that mid lane, a lot of kills on quad, but I do think that highlighting the top lane plays, because there's multiple times where I looked at the game, look topside, whoa, what happened? How is the topside tower already gone? I start seeing Philip get jumped. So I thought this was very important to highlight. Almost like a little underrated.
My very professional drawing feedback here would be, like, somehow put the fact that this is between the 2 towers before the first tower is even taken. Is this happening right here? And it was at, what, like 12 minutes in the game, like 15 minutes? Like, it was pretty early that this happened as well. I don't even know. I agree. Like, this play happened, and then, like, 5-10 minutes later, the game was over. So... Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it worked, and I thought I would highlight it, because I do think it was an important part of the game.
It's like Lord of the Rings as Sam and Frodo turned on Golem, just in between the 2 towers. They just had to chase him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll believe you. I'll take your word for it.
Well, I mean, that's wonderful. Basil, I know that you got a lot of drawings, and unlike the Brooklyn Nets, we like to compensate you for the drawings as well. So thank you so much.
Drama.
Yeah, no, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah, this was fun. Then maybe there will be more plays of the cats of the game.
Plays of the game of the cats? Yes.
Yeah,
we'll have to workshop that. Yeah, we'll have to
workshop the name for this.
Maybe bring me back next time and I'll have a name.
You can consult Pamela a little bit as well, too.
Probably, yeah. I think he's still sleeping.
Yeah.
Can I show this?
Oh my gosh! They woke up!
He's
Pamela,
cleaning.
You didn't miss much. It was a pretty smooth win for Flyquest Challengers. But, maybe Pamela will hop in the next one.
Yeah.
Predictions for game 2? Are they gonna hop in for game 2? Yeah.
Fly win! Woo!
That's easy. easy. Why?
Fly
are they gonna
win, cat win. What?
Hmm?
I don't know. Just fly win. You know, if you know, you know. And I know. So, fly win.
I know. I know you know.
Hashtag fly fam.
Okay. I got you. Cubby, what do you think's gonna happen game 2? What's your wild prediction?
I mean, honestly, like I think it's interesting to look at this from the shoes of Fear, because like Fear off that game, they do have to make some more adjustments. I think the one thing that really hurt is that thanks to some cats, we saw the story of top lane getting ahead for Surdy, but also Quad was the one finding some solo kills and solo leads in the mid lane himself. And again, like Surdy and Quad, they had the third and fourth best goal differential at 15. Like in the entire league in regular season. These two solo laners are very dominant in their roles, and they each had winning matchups. So I think for Fear, looking to find a way to at least get Philip or Toasty a counter matchup is going to be really important for this upcoming game, because really the story of that game, I felt like those two got a lead, and then Shaded and Chime were just able to blitz the map from there, and Fear never really got into that one. So I think any adjustments in draft, I'm really expecting to see Fear prioritize one of the solo lanes and at least try and get a winning matchup for one of those guys.
I definitely do feel like they prioritized the Talia, and then I didn't really see much help afterwards, which was a bit strange since the Talia got so ahead early. Definitely something where, especially into champions, that if they don't pay attention well enough because they have so many dashes, aside from the ADC, it's very easy to get caught up on Talia's rocks. Maybe even like a big ace could have happened there with the Talia, but it felt like, Toasty just left to do whatever, but wasn't able to be, prepped enough to really carry.
Yeah, there was. I think it is important to note, like you mentioned, that very small window where Toasty did get the triple kill in the bot lane, just a massive punish on the FLYC. And then that was like a maybe 2 or 3 minute window where Fear could have really looked to punish Quad, get Toasty even further ahead. And that just didn't really happen. Flyquest clearly ran away with the early game. They got the kills exactly where they needed to. They got every single neutral objective. Like, the fact that Toasty got the triple kill was almost entirely negated by the fact that there was just no roams and no follow through from that huge punish that they got in the bot lane.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with game 2, as I know we have the draft coming up here shortly, and it looks like, curiously enough, so Fear dropped that game. The way that side selection works here in Fearless Draft is that higher seed, you get side select for first game, then after that, the loser gets to pick. So Fear electing blue side means that each of our teams is going to stay on the same side. And you can see the champs that they don't have available for themselves going into this game too. So very curious to kind of see, like, do we see first pick Varus really emerge for Fear? I'm wondering if FLYC almost leaves up Orianna plus Varus and forces Fear to pick. I guess they can't do that because, like, they can get both. I feel like Varus almost has to be banned, or Ori has to be banned now. And it's very common in Fearless Draft, like when you can't pick a very high priority champion, to take it away. For example, Fear, they had Nautilus last game. They can't pick for themselves. So that ban almost gives them a little bit more mileage. Taking that away is it's off the board for them. Might as well take it off the board for the other team, as it is considered very OP.
More 80 carries, I think Smolder. I think you said Smolder, but if you didn't, I'm going to say Smolder again, just because I think Smolder's going to be banned every single game today. Orianna Nocturne as well is a very popular combo, as well as Xayah Rakan. Usually you ban one and then you ghost ban the other, where you kind of pick one and then you always pick the other. So the fact that both of those combos are still actually available for both of these teams could be fun to see if one, if not both, are picked up this game. And if we get a game 3, then we're going to have to worry about this Fearless a whole lot more. But the fact that you only can't pick the same champion game 1 again in game 2, it does, I think, not limit the pool as much as some people like to think, that Orianna is banned away. So again, that basically does also ban the Nocturne pick as well.
Yeah, and I'm interested, like, so Varus, of course, is a very high priority pick. If they want that, they can grab it later instead. They're actually going to first pick the Karma. So that's a pairing we've seen a lot of teams running with Xin Zhao or Kindred. I expect to see Chad insta-lock Xin Zhao. It has been a very strong champ of his. I think that Chad is specifically... Zin's a champ that can only go one way, and that is forward, right? And I've seen Chad actually flash forward rather early on in fights to, like, keep on pressing the damage and, like, keeping Lethal Templar Conqueror up, making sure that, like, the knockups land. I think Chad Zin, I actually kind of wish some players actually take some notes from that. I've really liked some of the moves that Chad's made on it. So Fear is a comfortable comp. They have proven they can run. They won this draft in their series against Wildcard, and I'm excited to see how it looks today against FLYC.
Yeah, I think a very interesting pick on the side of FlyQuest to run the Lucian Nami. Very classic pick, but I feel like we typically see some really good games, some really not so impactful games. I can't name a game where a Lucian Nami necessarily looked not great, but also depends on what Fear chooses, especially because they did pick Lulu, which makes me believe that the Karma is going mid, which could mean we see an FLYC Lulu lane, which is one of the older lanes, but hoping to maybe see that. I think it's a very exciting, maybe not the most exciting bot lane, but especially once you get into the mid late game, it's a lot more telling of which bot side played it better.
All right, Cam, 10 seconds to talk about Lulu. What do you got?
Talk about it in 10 seconds. Oh my gosh, this is literally my favorite support matchup in the entire game.
Yeah.
Is Lulu versus Nami. I genuinely think this is the most micro-heavy, intensive matchup for enchanters as supports. Maybe even just supports in general. I think as well it's interesting that the fact that Flyquest they saw Lulu and then they locked in Jax. Lulu like just perma counters Jax at any phase of the game. The wild growth can knock him up, get him out of the dash, can polymorph him, get him out of the dash. Like there's a lot of really good ways that Lulu could just keep Jax off of the carry that we're gonna be assuming Fear picks. This is a very similar comp that I think we saw AoE draft against Flyquest in FlyQuest in their game 1 on Thursday, where it was the same exact 3 champions I think for AoE, and then they locked in Kog'Maw as their AD carry. So whether it's Kog'Maw or just a very similar like absolute hyper carry type of AD carry here for Lens will be very fun to see, as they've already shown we're going to be drafting a protect comp. Just kind of depends where that protect is going to be, whether it is a top laner or most likely an AD carry.
I actually like that you brought that up, Cam, because the way that FlyC beat the Kog'Maw with the Karma plus Lulu was actually the Nocturne Ori, which is available for in this game. But that wombo, like, to make sure you had all that upfront damage and then the shields over time couldn't recover, I mean, it's something that, it's a combo that I feel like is really strong. And I also find it really interesting, Basil, like, you were highlighting the Aphelios being an option. Varus is also on the board. I'm wondering if there were almost too many picks for FlyC to take away, and that's why they just decided to take away top laners. Because now, like, Fear and Lens, they have pick of the litter of what they want to answer this Lucian. Like, they could go with the Zeri even as well. A lot of options.
I am very interested to see what we do for R5 on the side of FlyQuest as well. Also, because you said there are so many open options for ADC currently, and we see Gragas pick, which is also very helpful for get off my ADC as well.
I mean, it's a St. Patrick's Day shout out, you know, for the Gragas and Philip. As I expect to see the Zeri here for Lens, as it's something that
Vayne would have been fun.
We actually haven't seen him play Zeri yet this split. I know he was playing a bit of it last split. It's really a pick that's kind of re-emerging because it was one of the answers in the smolder.
Not Kog'Maw.
No Cog, yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Vayne mid would be fun. That would be a pick.
It's a quirky mid, Cam. We gotta find out what
Vayne
Shaden's
jungle,
playing.
what's happening?
Wow, they actually flexed the Jax. So this Jax jungle has really emerged as an answer.
It's exciting. Exciting to watch.
I saw Jax and like Basil. I know you know Surdy. I was just like, all right, it's Jax top. Right?
Yeah, I also
Surdy Jax.
I thought we were setting a top lane.
Yeah, no, they actually switched it up, and Surdy opting into a matchup that does get outscaled. So he's gonna have to really make sure that he is the strong point for FlyC, so he can have both winning sides and kind of get this quirky to the later stages. And this early to mid game is going to be really terrifying for Fear. The double Enchantress with Xin Zhao plus Zeri. That's rather scary for FlyC to go up against.
I think this is an exact same jungle matchup that I just casted earlier today on CBLOL, actually, where they did flex the Jax into the jungle, and I'm pretty sure it was also against a Xin Zhao, where Xin Zhao, you know, does the Xin Zhao perma farm and then a level 6 perma gank kind of thing. Jax was the complete opposite, just literally never left a lane. He was perma ganking, and then like at the end of the game, it just turned into a split push game. That's just kind of what Jax games kind of tend to do, but it is funny that this, I don't think we've seen that many Jax jungles in, all right, we do say bye-bye to Basil now as we move into the
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, we lost you, but moving into the game, yeah, I don't think we've seen a lot of Jax jungle, right, in the NACL yet, Cubby?
No, it pretty much is primarily just an answer to Xin Zhao. It's one way to get out of the 3 talent strike. You can answer some of the early power, as you see Shaden went with the lethal tempo. Conquer for Chad. Recognizing that he can't stack the autos against the Jax and Conquer, you just get value everywhere. So making the Xin a little bit stronger later into the game, not so much now. But Jax is also a champ that uniquely, I mean, he scales really well out of the jungle. And I'm interested,
Yes.
like, there is a decent amount of auto attack damage coming from the Zeri and the Xin. I'm wondering if Shaden kind of hit the break point where he can't be moved as a frontliner.
We got some level 1 dances earlier this week in the playoffs. I would like some more level 1 dances, please. I very much enjoy that. This is a little bit too try-hard for me, level 1. We're actually throwing abilities and putting wards down. Come on, guys. Let's get some dances.
Well, you know, it is NACL playoffs, Cam, so
Okay,
when we don't
like-
have Niles in the game, usually you don't get the top lane handshakes. Unfortunately, Maryville did drop yesterday, so you don't get to cast the top lane dances in the next series, but
I
at
can't
the moment,
believe this.
curious, the dance we have between the junglers is a little bit of a different start this time around. We do have a Raptor start for Shaden, starting with the AoE camps, and it will be each jungler working their way towards the bot side.
And the bot side is a pretty massive lane. It's particularly for Fear, right? Where this is a protect comp pretty much based around the fact that Lens needs to have that pop-off game to keep Fear on the top side bracket for this playoffs split here. And this is going to be the comp that does it, right? You've got your tank engaged top lane. You have Xin Zhao for a little bit of early game, and then the double enchanter mid plus support. Toasty super comfortable on that Karma. Just generally a really strong mid laner mage in the current meta. Daption taking a big trade in the bot lane. Level 2 pop for the Fear bot lane. Actually, Lens almost flashing forward. I thought he flashed for it, but not quite. It is just the heal burned by Daption for the heal on Chime and the ignite from Sejed.
I do like that from Daption. So Daption originally was an Enchantress player, and it's funny because like he's a rookie in this league, but I remember him playing Proving Grounds for Wildcard, and of course I casted him hoisting a trophy with University of St. Thomas in Seawall. And it's fun. I was catching up with Lens, and he said, you know, they 2v2'd a lot. Lens took a break this offseason. He wasn't sure if he was going to play or not, and they kind of scaled into the matchup. But what I love about Lens is that he is definitely an AD that I find very aggressive. And I kind of asked him about balancing the aggression with just positioning as an AD, and he's like, you know what? You just got to be smart and take the right play at the right time. And Zeri, we haven't seen him on this champ yet this split, but this is definitely a champ where if you can walk forward and take the right play at the right time, that's something that Lens can do very well in this champion. So excited to see if he can do it later on.
I want to quickly point out here on the bot lane, Lens and Daption, the fact that they just took that massive trade. They walked out on top with the Scimitar spells, but they also walk out on top with the mana and the gold lead, or mana and the HP lead, because of the fact that they actually crashed the wave and got the full cheater recall. Really, really strong early game. You saw the CS lead that Lens had. He's about to get a right back from Sejed. Just because the bot lane for FLYC hasn't been allowed to recall, Fear fully got their first backs off already.
And this is a matchup like Lulu did see some changes in a recent patch. I really like her in the Nami now because they buffed up her Q pass-through damage as well as the E. And the fact that, you know, that is a matchup I was going to mention, like, hey, Daption is low health, he's out of pots. Well, the fact that he's able to base, get that health back, and now there's an item advantage for Fear. You see both junglers being attracted to come down here. As I think Shaden knows. Yeah, Shaden knows that there is no play. I think he's just here to make sure that this wave gets in. And Chad's going to pass. And he does have mid prio, so Spot Crab could be a little bit scary for Shaden if he wants to go for it, as Toasty's coming down the collapse.
Very scary bot lane scuttle here. Again, the Flyquest bot lane has not been allowed to recall. You see how low Chime gets. Nami, as a champion, gets super low on mana, especially before you get that first recall off for Scuttle. Going in the favor of Fear. Toasty and the bot lane here for Fear have done an excellent job at managing their waves here in the first couple of minutes of this game too. I think we already had a first blood at this point in the game one, so Fear had some sort of good VOD review. They talked about game one very well. In between game one and game two, there's definitely a lot to learn for both teams, but particularly Fear. And just in the 10 or so minutes that they had to VOD review, they've done an excellent job, it appears, so far in the first 5 minutes.
And that is something that... Oh, hold on.
Oh, Wubble lands on Daption. He's got the flash, just about able to get away in time.
Oh, no.
Just trying to follow up, but wasn't in range to get the last auto. Oh, that is devastating. Chime also no mana. This is just going to flash in. That's a double kill picked up for the Protect comp 80 carry. Absolutely huge for the Fear early game.
Daption and Lens step up. So yeah, that flash was unwarranted. He was trying to get the Ignite down. I mean, if that gets down, maybe he finds the kill, but Daption... because of the polymorph in this, though, is way out of range. So Sejed couldn't find him. He dies for free, and that glitter lands from Daption, finding Chime in the back half really good. As we get another... Oh, look, I mean, let's look at this one, Cam, because the initial bubble from Chime is fine. I mean, this catches Daption. The dash from Sejed's good. He just gets polymorphed. I think maybe if he was able to flash forward and get a Q off, Daption falls, but He flashes forward after the CC. Daption's out of range, and then this Glitter Lance finds Chime. Freebie for Lens.
This is literally all thanks to the wave control that the Fear bot lane have had. You saw how low the mana was, just the general resources for Sejed and Chime. They were forced to go for that play. The bubble was good, but the fact that they so hard committed to it with the wave not being in an ideal spot just meant it was so much harder and so hardly punished by the Fear bot lane. You see a massive CS lead spawning up here for Fear, for Lens specifically, and that is only going to continue to grow. Lens should be hitting level 6 very shortly as well.
One of the big differences about this game for Fear is that, I mean, this Zeri Lulu is very strong. I like this lane a lot in the Lucian plus Nami. I really like, though, like I talked about in draft, making sure that Fear at least had better solo lane matchups. The Karma into Corki, I mean, it is one where it's a free lane for the Corki and you do get outscaled, but Toasty is going to be able to move and impact the map early. I think that Fear needed some earlier power in the last game, so I think this draft also answered that, and as the bot lane lead and the power that Fear has in the mid lane, that first dragon goes over to them for free.
I believe it was also, oh, never mind. Top lane fight, baby. Philip, all right, never mind. I was going to say, I think it was the first 3 grubs that went to the favor of Flyquest while we had bot lane replay as well. So first 3 grubs in the end traded over for the first Hex Tech Dragon. Pretty even across the map, if you do ask me. This wave on the bot lane, man, this is just going to determine this lane entirely for Sejed and Chime. They're actually calling Shaden down as well. We need help to get this wave in, please.
Shaden's going to be spot on that control ward. I mean, that just hit 6. That should just deny the play, right? It's just get a ward now for Shaden and get out. No way you can jump on this area at 6.
Chime sitting 25% of his HP. If he lands a bubble or a W, there's just no more mana left for the play. And like you said, Lens having level 6 up on Chime still being level 4 makes that an extremely hard lane to play. And it's actually definitely also a hard lane to gank for Shaden as well.
Yeah, I mean, Shaden's still getting some decent work in, clearing out some of these control wards as Daption does go for recall stop, but he's chonked.
Oh, no. Oh, Daption. That was a little too far forward there, my friend. Sejed is just going to say thank you very much. Colin used that one. Didn't even have to use the Ignite.
Yeah, I don't think delaying a recall is worth delaying a, grace grading for, but that was the flip that Daption went for, and now...
Quick back.
Shaden does have a one wave where he could look for Lens, and Chad's walking down to try and defend against it. Okay, no, not going to look for Lens. Just going to make sure this cannon wave gets all the way in, so Sejed gets a good reset. So a lot of time and focus being put in the bot side by Shaden for FLYC, and frankly, they've needed it so far. Oopsie from Daption there, but besides that, Fear is the one getting the best of them in the laning phase.
Both of these teams super good at punishing the opposing squad, right? Fear, again, from Toasty getting the triple kill on Talia in game 1. That was a massive punish onto Flyquest, and that was when they were already down 5,000 gold or something pretty significant. This game, gold lead is essentially dead even. 500 going back and forth between the two teams so far. It is slightly in the favor of Fear at this moment. But I expect even one more kill in the Flyquest. It's just going to be 500 back and forth until we have a true fight around one of these objectives. We've got Grub spawning up in less than 60 seconds, and Cloud Dragon in about 2.5.
Curiously enough, it's actually going to be Kraken Slayer for Sejed. So we've seen quite a few different Lucian builds emerging. This one is very focused on getting the auto attacks down. I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. Like, you can kind of interact with Xin Zhao, but not really, and you're going to be fighting through a lot of slows in range between the Karma, the Lulu, and then even the Zeri over the top. So I think Sejed's going to have to be very careful about the windows that he does decide to dash in and take. And a lot of his damage, I expect now to be focused on the front line, because this build, really good if you're able to get those auto attacks and those combos out as Lucian, but not as much power behind just the culling itself.
One more Grubby taken there by Shaden, but the last 2 will actually be going in favor of Chad and Fear. So no 5 Grubs collected for anyone in this game 2. Meanwhile, down here in the bot lane, good bubble lands on Daption, but Stedtress might be dead. I mean, the Wild Growth absolutely massive in buying time there for Lens. Daption continuing to push forward onto Chime. No more Tidal Wave. Chime holding onto that flash if he actually wanted to go forward onto potentially getting that kill back onto Lens. But if I know Lulu wins these against a little Nami with such low HP. So we'll just be that 1-4-0 Lens. Very happy to be 3-0 right now.
Yeah, well played, Lens. Honestly, pretty poor spacing there from Sajed. He got knocked up by the wild growth. I think if that doesn't happen, maybe there's a chance that he's able to pick up that kill on his own. But, I mean, after that, the flash after the culling was tossed, that culling was being thrown in the Narnia. A couple things that could have been played a little bit better on FlyC's side might have found them the kill, but not the case. And here, continue. This game really is all about the bot side, Cam, and at the moment it is the Seri Lulu getting the best of it.
All about the bot side and all about the wave control, pretty much, right? Like, Daption might have died one time, just whoopsie, trying to kill the back, but literally all three of these kills, I would argue, have been because of wave control from Lens and Daption. This top side, totally an island. We're watching this island for fun right now. The CS lead is pretty solidly in the favor of Surdy right now, but it's a Cassante, it's a Gragas. They're going to be super helpful in teamfights no matter what. That's a really nice bubble. Wow.
We do have Package in the hands of Quad right now. Package did see some changes. It has a 45-second window, so he pretty much has one wave to try and make a move. Dragon is spawning while Package is up. We'll see if Shaded and Quad try and make a play for it, but he's got to use it soon. Oh,
no,
Lens,
that's
what
the
happened?
gold lead right there. The gold lead is dead. That's a 300 shutdown picked up by Sajed, and I mean, just like that, that's a pretty massive swing into Flyquest's Challengers pockets here. That Cloud Dragon easily going to be in their favor. Chad can look for a steal, but without any real vision. You see Surdy as well. I think he actually TP'd down to help this Dragon fight, but nothing will actually be able to come of it in the favor of Fear. Flyquest, again, they're just here to punish Fear's very micro mistakes.
Yeah, Lens just can't be here. You just can't defend this. Yeah. He gets caught by the bubble, and that's the play. Daption was trying to get mid. I think the idea might have been to, for Lens to push that wave and then for them to connect mid and play the Dragon out from there. But that really hurts Fear because that could have been their second Dragon in the stack. Now they're going to have to make plays to try and return it in the squad.
Diving Quad on the top side, doesn't have the flash available. Trying to turn it back onto Chad. Gets it so low and so close. Shaden and Surdy are here for the follow-up, though. Will they be able to actually shut anyone down, though? Since such low HP, Philip is out. Chad flashes out. Stun lands on Toasty, and now Fear might be able to turn this one back around on Flyquest. Toasty throwing out some very aggressive summoner spells, but he's standing a little bit too close for comfort here. Brute not quite gonna land. Shane might just go down. Again, everybody's hitting such low HP, and in the end, it's gonna be Toasty picking up the only kill.
Really nice talent strike there by Chad. I thought he might have went down, but it actually caught Surdy when he did go in to make the play. That saved Chad's life. And Shaden way overreaching against the Karma, who... you can dodge out on auto attacks, but you can't dodge out on Mantra Qs when Toasty flashes and hits you with it point blank. So Shading going to take that one to the face, and that's a 1.5K gold lead for Fear. A little bit shaky on their side in terms of snowballing, but overall still doing what they need to do to push this game forward. As Lens goes in.
Oh, Lens dashing in. I don't know about this one here, my friends. Jed does have a full item on the Kraken player, but nope, Chime is just first dead now. Quad roaming all the way down. Good flash away from Dash. Using that heal as well for an extra little bit of movement speed. Lens still holding the barrier as well as the flash just dashes in and takes out Sajed. Quad hovering around to keep the wave outside of the tower. Meanwhile, up here on the top side, might have a potential 1v1 here as well. Chad showing up a little bit late to help out Philip Surdy. Taken underneath the tower, taken down, taken back over to his fountain. Chad picking up his first kill.
I mean, Fear just went everywhere on both sides, right? I talked about, for FlyC, they kind of needed to have the Cassante bridge them into the later stages of the game with the Corki Lucian Nami, but everything's kind of falling apart here for FlyC, and with Lucian Nami, when they shift mid, at this point in the game, it's when they're strong, but with the Karma Lulu, I really feel like they just catch the Cullings. They get out range. I don't really know how FlyC are going to be able to play this one out with such a gold deficit they're facing early. And for FlyC, I mean, it really felt like they were reaching on both sides of the map, just kind of funneling in one by one on the bot side. Surdy takes a random death on the top side. As this game it's been all Fear, and it almost feels like it's been good plays from Lens and Daption, but at this point of the game, they're ahead, and FlyC are just kind of throwing themselves at them, and they keep falling one by one.
I was complimenting FlyC's general synergy and team fight, team comms in last game. This game, I don't know what happened. Fear have massively scaled, and FlyC has definitely not been there to match them so far this game. About 2,500 gold lead spawn in the first 15 minutes for Fear. Again, very opposite to what we saw from them in the last game. 1-1 tied up on these Dragons. I think the Grubs in the end were 4-2 in the favor of Flyquest, but we do have the next Dragon that will be our tiebreaker, and I would say our probably first true 5v5 in about 90 seconds.
I mean, for this one, I think FLYC, I don't know if they're ready to fight yet. We have a second item, Serpent's Fang, coming out from Sajed to deal with just all the shielding that here will be packing. That's very unique to this game. And it's tough. Like, I feel like at this point, they need to wait for Quad to scale. So I think until Quad gets a lot of items, they kind of have to play chill. As Toasty, good sidestep.
Good dash from Toasty. Tidal Wave pop. That's a pretty important cooldown. That will not be available for the Dragon fight in just 60 seconds. The fact that Toasty lives, he also has TP if he wants to recon, actually TP back to this potential Dragon fight with full resources available. Bot lane prio right now is in the favor of FlyC, but Lens Adaption roaming up to mid lane now will get that mid prio 45 seconds before this Dragon.
And the other thing for me in this game is that we haven't talked about top too much. Like I mentioned that Surdy can find pressure early on this Cassante, but Gragas is really just here to neutralize this matchup. And once Gragas completes the Roa and the Seraph, you become really, really tanky. And you're kind of like this AP bruiser that's tough to deal with. Like, I think Gragas interacts really well with both Jax and Cassante this game, and his ability to really hold the line for Lens, who is so damn fed in this game, again, just makes this game harder and harder for FLYC, is they're going to lose mid.
Oh, is the TP canceled? Oh, the TP was almost canceled, but it came in just in time for Quad to have to burn the package and run away. Shaden, that's the jungler as well, by the way. He got exploded along with that package being burned immediately by Flyquest. There goes your jungler, and there goes your package right before this very crucial Dragon fight. I mean, Fear, they don't even need to all go for the Dragon. You see, they're just throwing Chad down there to solo the Dragon. Quad has to walk back up to top lane. Surdy and Philip, again, we're on a little bit of an island here. Quadas will go up and just say hello, maybe do something, but most important thing here, Chad soloing down the Dragon for Fear.
I mean, this is looking like it's going to 3, and it's going to be off a 2 pretty one-sided game.
Oh, curses.
Philip, he's going to try and survive the brawl on the top side.
Oh, they brought Chime up here, too. It's the whole dang party up here on the top side tower. Quad easily able to pick up that kill, and Flyquest will end up trading 1 kill as well as a top lane outer turret for the second Dragon in Fear. You saw Toasty as well. Oh, I thought he got the tower. Never mind. He was just getting the wave.
And overall, Fear, they pick up the Drake. Yes, Philip falls, but I think they're okay with where things are at on the map. And again, I think for FlyC, like, they need this Jax and this Corki to just continue to scale. And I think the Gragas is going to be really like a real big problem. And at this point of the game, I mean, I give Fear a 70-80% chance to take this one home, just given the draft they have. I think for FlyC, like, the Zeri Lulu, for me, it is very winning in this Lucian Nami matchup, especially after the Lulu changes that were made. And the other thing with, again, Lucian Nami is that when you put them mid, you do not have a side lane that can win, and then Fog to threaten the collapse on mid. You lose a lot of the power of Lucian Nami, which really is in the mid game. You can press R and push people off the mid wave. At the moment, like, against a Karma and a Lulu that can really absorb the culling, I don't think Sajad and FlyC like really have a way to do that. As you can see here, he just gets polymorphed and forced off.
Yeah, polymorph, and pretty much just all eyes are going to be on Lens. For good or for bad. Lens is either going to 1v9 this game for Fear and take us to a game 3, or Flyquest are going to shut him down. And him having 6 of the 9 total kills right now for Fear, he is the gold lead. He is damage right now for Fear because, again, they're a protect comp. And around Lens, the fact that they have so much gold and so much kills on him right now is exactly what they wanted to get in draft, and that is why they have such a big gold lead and objective lead so far. But they have to continue that, right?
Yeah.
And Flyquest, their goal and their entire mission of the game is to not let Lens play the game.
And this is a fun one for me, too, because, like, when I was looking at the Spotlight matchup, of course, we just announced we have more awards. That does include all promoting. And I submitted my ballot. On my ballot, I had Sajed second and Lens third. And I asked Lens, I was like, hey, man, like, how do you feel about that? And he's like, you know, I feel confident that, like, when I'm playing at my best, I know what I can show, and I can be the best AD out there. And, you know, I think that, you know, as a team, myself, and we've had some slumps, but for 2 rookies and where we're at, we think we're doing something right. And for Lens, I think the thing that is my favorite part about his gameplay is that when Lens steps up, he's a very aggressive marksman, and oftentimes will step up at the right times, even if he's going down, trading enough damage or people to make sure that his team can win the fight and still take major objectives needed elsewhere. Lens is 6-1 with Lulu and a Karma. I mean, Cam, you're right.
Right?
This is all about the Zeri, this game. And for me, Lens, it really is a chance for him to make sure that, you know, he can keep on pushing himself forward in the conversation, not just to be a top 3 marksman in Challengers, but also be someone that is considered to be promoted, because he's someone that, you know, we didn't play this split, which would have been really sad. He was a very talented player with Wildcard last split. To see him continue to grow this split with Fear compliments to what they've been doing, as they're a very competitive org in our new NACL ecosystem after some changes, and Lens being a part of that this year has been rather fun to watch.
And I believe it was just 2 days ago, right, in their other playoff match where Lens, I don't know what his final KDA was, but whatever it was,
Kaisa
everyone
game?
was screaming. Yeah, the Kaisa
Ballistic.
game.
He's the reason they're here. He beat a smolder late game because of his Kaisa play, right? I mean, that was as LPL pilled as it can get. So we love that from Lens and hope he can continue it.
I was in the Twitch chat for that game, watching, preparing for the cast here today, and everyone was chanting Lens in the Twitch chat. I hope he went back and saw the Twitch chat messages, because it was all Lens' favor for Cincinnati Fear on their matches Thursday. And this day, it's going to have to be the same if Fear wants to continue their run. Lens really good flash away. Suggest first member taken down. TP onto the minion here by Toasty. Massive damage onto Quad, but Toasty's the only one doing it. He's forced to flash away. Chad going to continue to take that
Quad.
team fight.
Chad.
Huge knockup, knocking away 3 members of the Flyquest Challengers. But dashing in, there goes Lens, there goes your 80 carry. Double kill picked up for Chad in the backline. Meanwhile, Shaden in a 1v1 against Philip, but is he in a 1v1 if it's not under Toasty? And Daction is the one to secure that kill. Meanwhile, Chad and Sturdy on the chicken pit. 1v1, who's gonna take this one? Sturdy trying to dash away. He doesn't have his friends, he doesn't have his team. It's an ace for Fear.
Wow, they took down Lens. You can see some of the damage that Quad's able to pump out, but everything was thrown to try and take Lens down, and then the rest of the fight, Asante and Zin, they were off in their own little world, having a little bit of an honorable 1v1, but really the work that Philip was able to do on the Gragas, holding the line, holding the door for the rest of the team, ended up being big. Also, props to Toasty in the replay. I think that TP was really good for pressuring Quad, because we did see some of the damage that Quad can pack with this Malignance Corki, a pick that has really been big in the LCK, where Quad, originally hails from, competing for Challengers League the past couple years, and also having a brief appearance with DRX on the big stage as Chime. That's a
See
big
you later,
comment,
Chime.
Yeah. 2 Enchantress is greater than 1 there, Cam.
2 Karma Qs and you're just dead.
Oh,
no. I know the pain of that as a Nami main.
Yep, that's, you are unfortunately sushi for the Enchantresses on the later. Is actually, oh man, Shaden couldn't even secure that blue buff. We're going to take another look at the kill where Fear, Wild Fear picks up their soul point as Lens, again, that Wild Growth kind of messes with Sejad enough. You can see the damage coming out from Quad, but then look at this TP. Quad, he blew everything to try and get in there and take down the bot lane of Fear. Toasty able to dish back enough damage, and the ult from Chad was fantastic at splitting everyone else up.
Yes.
It's what really starts this Surdy versus Chad matchup on their own little world in the top side. And Shaden, he is able to get the shutdown onto this area, so much needed gold into the Jax, but Jax is going up against Enchantresses, not auto-attackers. You can see you're able to kite out the Jax rather easily there. Make sure that this fight goes their way, and now game state even better for Fear here, Cam.
Right. I mean, I would still like to talk about, or talk to Flyquest Challengers and ask them why they decided to pick the Jax right after they saw the Karma and the Lulu locked in, which I would definitely, Lulu is 100% a counter to Jax. I know that for sure. I would consider Karma also a pretty strong counter to Jax. So
thematically,
like to,
somewhat, yeah. If Jax can't
just
get far
because
enough ahead. Yeah.
You can get the Mantra W or even just the regular W from Karma on a Jax, whether or not the E lands from Jax. Like, that seems like a pretty solid counter to me. Very much flipped from game 1. We actually have Flyquest Challengers with the ones with objective bounties on the table for them. It's a 5,000 gold lead for Fear. 1 more dragon left if they want to claim the Ocean Soul for themselves in just about 4 minutes. They might be a Baron before then, but other than that, I don't expect a whole lot of actual action.
It's looking like there's a Baron before then. With the Enchantresses, they can keep Chad rather healthy, as this Baron's already at half. YC half spotted it. Shaden making his way in as Baron's at 7k. He will be here in time. We'll see if Fear is able to turn.
This is a fast Baron. Lens is fully focused on the Baron right now. Look at that monster Q over the wall. That damage is so illegal. This is an Enchantress, by the way.
They're flipping.
He's gonna try and steal
got it.
Picked up by Flyquest Challengers. How did they steal that Baron? They have to run away with the robbery away from the wall, though. Fear, they're gonna chase them down. You will not get away from Baron for free if Fear have anything to say about it, and they don't. It is a robbery highway. Highway robbery, even, from Flyquest Challengers.
I mean, Shaden, he was getting smite stolen by Kenby, his old roommate, and he decides to throw some of that back in his other old roommate, Chad's face, as Shaden's able to get in the pit. I don't know what Fear was doing here, because Chad, the E was actually canceled by the tidal wave, so Chad couldn't follow up on the fight. And then as you highlighted, Cam, Fear doesn't need to do something like this. They just kind of need to wait sit on their lead.
Yeah.
They can afford to wait till Ocean comes up where they commit to the flip. Shaden gets in there, finds a big steal, and that's a lot of gold now back in FlyC's pockets, and a lot of standing gold on the map. I mean, that mid-outer now, you gotta imagine that a Baron buffed up team with a Corki, you're gonna knock down some turrets, and by the end of this Baron, this could be an even gold game.
Remember, that was also an Objective Bounty. I don't know if you mentioned that as well, Cubby, but
Yeah.
Objective Bounty just closed this gold lead by almost 3,000 back into the favor of Flyquest Challengers. Absolutely massive gold swing all off the back of not even any kills, right? I don't think they actually picked up any kills off that play, maybe one, but it's just solely the Baron. Now, what? Yep, 0 kills. We just got confirmed. But yeah, what are they going to be able to actually do with this Baron? Does Corki have package, by the way, for the Dragon Fight in 2 minutes?
I think Corki needs to wait to pick up that package for the Dragon Fight. I love that you bring that up because this Baron power play, I mean, it goes on just about as long as you know, the Dragon spawning. So I think for FlyC, goal is to fix these waves, get as much of an item, you know, ready. Or as many items they can possibly get ready for themselves for this dragon. And then Quad, his goal is pick up the package right when that dragon spawns and try and get involved. I'm not sure if he won't have empowered TP up, which is a big deal with the package changes just because it lasts for only 45 seconds now. I kind of like the package TP to make sure that you are always strong on the map with that passive ability that is so damn strong on Corki himself.
Yeah, the fact that you can waste like 15 to 20 seconds of the package timer just literally walking back to lane, right? If you have the TP, then you're only wasting a potential 5 to 6 seconds of the package timer, which is such a crucial thing that FlyQuest have picked for themselves in the draft phase. Lens has to be real careful with his positioning. Again, all eyes are on him this game. For good or for bad, he needs to stay alive, and he needs to have almost perfect positioning in every single team fight from this point on.
FlyC need to have a good setup for this Dragon, too. They're going to spot Shaden basing. They can afford to base this late, given the Baron. Keep your eyes on Quad, too, as that package, it's going to spawn a couple seconds after the Dragon, but FlyC have actually stayed on the map. And
don't walk in there.
Yeah, right. This is where Quad poke is big.
Ooh,
Fear have all the shields in the world, but they do not have healing. FlyC do have access to that, so a poke war does benefit FlyC.
Double Ocean Dragon does feel pretty good for Fly, or Fear even. The ones who actually have a double Ocean. So he might be caught out here. He's a little bit away from his team. Almost chunked out. Force use the wild growth on your mid laner is not what you want in this protected comp.
Dirty.
Look at Chad, by the way. Chad forced to use his ult to try and run away, flashing away from Flyquest as well. This is all Flyquest favored. Lens is not able to get in range to actually land any auto attacks. Fear is in control of the river, but Flyquest is in control of the map.
Quad's basing, he will get packaged. That was a really good chunk from FlyC as they got Chad low, but Chad, he was able to do a camp. He's back full health. That's going to be Ocean Soul to Fear. Can FlyC take the fight?
FlyC stole the Baron. They will not be able to steal the soul this time. Can they take the fight after? Watch the package. This is a massive flank angle that Quad has. He has a flash as well. Philip diving in, forced to flash away immediately back towards his team. Watch Lens as well. Chad going in, blowing up the AD carry package, splitting the fight equally in half. Adaption on the bot side, trying to take down the mid top laner, even as Quad is the one to fall on the top side. Surdy all on his own. Nothing he can do as this Kazante Lens picking up yet another kill on this absolute carry Zeri. On the top side, Chime is just going to run away. He's buying some extra time, taking away the members of Fear from the base. But Fear have nothing left in their eyes but to see the Nexus towers fall.
It was a last stand from FlyC as the package was good, but the cask from Philip for St. Patty's Day was a bit better. Split everyone up as Fear are going to take this game and push it to a game 3.
Fear taking us to a game 3 after a dominant game 1 win from Flyquest Challengers and a dominant game 2 win from Fear. Who is going to buy their ticket to the winners finals next weekend? We'll all have to be decided in our game 3.
And I mean, props to Fear. And for me, Fear, like, they're a team. They've been playing game 3s. All split. All Fear's wins have come from game 3s, and they continue the streak of NACL playoffs. We must have the max amount of games. We must play for the max amount of content. We must have, you know, everyone in Twitch chat, give them the longest time to potentially sub to the channel and directly support these teams and players. And I mean, being more serious, that was a really good laning from Lens and Daption. And this is a young bot lane. For me, Lens was someone that played quite well with Dawnbray and Wildcard last year. He is someone that I have thought pretty highly of as a marksman, and to see him be able to step up and do good work with the lead that he had, I mean, it made it way too hard for FlyC to break that comp with the Karma and the Lulu on the Zeri. Won't be available to Fear in the next game, but Fear able to find that win and at least push us to an interesting Game 3 series.
Pushing us to a Game 3 yet again. Yet to not have a Game 3 series so far in the playoffs this NACL split. But we will move to a quick break before we head to our actual Game 3.
They said it couldn't be done. They said the world would never accept a cookie this long. Or a churro, and probably not a pretzel either. They also said, under no circumstances should those really long and delicious treats be wildly affordable. To which we said, but we already made them. And they are. Introducing the incredible new foot-long sidekicks. Get one at Subway today.
Everybody in Twitch chat.
Look at the camera.
This is the guy. This is the guy making the run to the LCS Challengers League. Round of applause for Scary Jerry.
Shout out Collegiate. We're coming for everybody. We're gonna win. Also, Shogo's been in the Twitch chat of every match that we've had, so shout out to him. He's our biggest fan.
Nice.
Can't wait to take St. Thomas out in the finals.
Kind of going back to the Lucian item here in the bot side. This sets up really nice for Lucian's ultimate because the support item he'll grab is the damage amp. So you throw down that auto, you know, you get the slow, you pump your ult.
And
Oh boy.
flash, doesn't matter if you die, and Wixie gets pierced through the heart. Victory in your first series of the split. It's a little bit of a top kingdom, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he was completely gapped both games. It was just a slaughter. What can I say? But it's really good to see you guys again.
Top laner is going to show up as teleports are channeled. Now jumping into Jenkins right on the chime. Bleeds him down so damn quickly. Quad is here. And a double kill as the sword slices down from Surdy.
I want to go to you as an individual, as we do see the Grim Reaper running around behind you. Thank you, Shochi, for being the mascot for the team. Still clumped up. They haven't gone down yet. Shochi's just free-firing. Jumps in. Over the knockup from Niles. No knockup combo for Spyrax to look for, and he even goes down. Shochi with a double kill, making a triple kill. Reset City versus Supernova's mid laner. Quadra kill to Shochi, and they will ace Maryville.
There is a reason that I said it's going to be a Shochi specialty game. The future of the LCS starts right after the LCS. Welcome to Challengers League.